For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open, the eyes of truth, the lips of truth are ever closed, the head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward, the gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt, truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching, the voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple, all you sow you reap. The soul of truth is flaming, the heart of truth is warm, the mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Yes, it is true. 16 years after a major fire, St. Jude Hospital is yet to be reconstructed. Also coming up, a woman says, stop telling people where to vote. And remembering Officer 642 Tyson. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It is on Power 97.9 FM, as well as the NewsSpin Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Don't forget, by the way, to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please click the notification bell. In a moment, your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Can you remember September the 9th of 2009? This conflagration destroyed our main health institution in the island's south, the St. Jude Hospital. And many of you woke up that day and you heard the news. You were in shock. You could not believe what you heard. Because after all, St. Jude Hospital at that time was a well-respected and appreciated health institution. Appreciated by all throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia. I remember a number of people in the city, in Castries, boasting about the quality of services that were being provided at that health institution and the quality of the doctors. You had so many specialists visiting that hospital ever so often, and the persons in the north of the island would travel all the way to VA4 to benefit from their services. St. Jude right now, unfortunately, is a shadow of itself. Administration after administration, they have promised to complete the health institution. Prime Minister after Prime Minister, they have promised to do so. Stevenson King, Dr. Kenny Anthony, Alan Chasney, and now Philip J. Pierre. And one gets a sense that the hospital will be, quote, end quote, completed during the course of this year. The nature of the completion, I don't know. But we are waiting to see exactly what will happen. If the hospital will be opening in phases, or if all of the units will be operational, the entire plant will be able to be utilized by staff and also patients. We have to wait and see, because there's a lot of secrecy surrounding this particular project as to the monies that were borrowed from the Saudis, what amount will be utilized for the reconstruction of the St. Jude Hospital, and the rehabilitation of the George Odlum Stadium, which currently houses the health institution. So in time, maybe during the course of this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after, we have been on this merry-go-round for a while. We've been told that St. Jude will be, the hospital will be opening at some point in time, and we have given credence to those promises from a number of prime ministers and a number of health ministers as well. But let us not forget one thing. When we're talking about the hospital being destroyed by fire, we tend to forget about the lives that were lost in the process. And those individuals would be Menas Vigier, Claudia Soudain, and Joseph Jean-Baptiste. Menas Vigier, Claudia Soudain, and Joseph Jean-Baptiste. Let's also remember those people on this, the 16th anniversary of the St. Jude Hospital fire. Are we serious? Is this really the birthplace of Sir Arthur Lewis and Honorable Derek Walcott? Did we produce those individuals? And again, I must make reference to the late Sir John Compton. You can't help but be nostalgic. This would happen under a government that is headed by Sir John George Melvin Compton. And if you have just $1 in your pocket, I'm sure you will bet on this hospital having been completed years ago, fully operational, and opened during the reign of an administration headed by John Compton. Don't know about stalling and making excuses when it comes to delivering such projects to the people of St. Lucia. But we got excuses from Kenny Anthony. We got excuses from Stevenson King. We got excuses from Alan Chasney. And now we are being made a promise by Philip J. Pierre. This whole project was mad in controversy. Whether to go back to what is being described as the chicken coop, or whether to go to the box. And a country that's boasting of so many bright people. You have planners in the Ministry of Health. You have professionals in the Ministry of Physical Development. You have a DCA. You have all kind of institutions that should have coalesced around this project and bring it to a satisfactory completion within a reasonable time frame. 16 years, 1-6. Shame on us in St. Lucia for allowing the politicians, the governments of St. Lucia to do that to the people of this island, and in particular, the people in the south of St. Lucia. And the people of the south, you have to take some blame as well, you know. You marched, you protested, that so-called concerned citizens playing politics with this. But for a moment, you just could not say to yourself that you must look after the interest of the people of the South. Your interest. Apply the pressure on whichever government that was presiding over the affairs of the state at the time to open the bloody hospital, to complete it. And today, September the 9th, 2025, marking the 16th anniversary of this fire. And what do we have to show for it? People are still there painting and knocking and playing around with this important project. Let's listen to then Prime Minister Stephen King in the aftermath of that fire. And you're speaking with HTS's Southern correspondent, Desmond Collimo.
Too early to indicate anything in detail, but certainly we are here, and it means that all hands on deck, and we will do all in our power to get the situation under control.
Okay, I'm certain that you have had a chat with management of St. Jude's. What came out of that discussion?
The discussion generally, and it is really one that must be done very early, is to have a situation analysis of the current status here. And they were able to give me a clear indication of the census, the numbers at the institution, accounting for patients, where they are, and hopefully by 6 o'clock in the morning we'll be able to give in detail an account of every patient which was housed at the institution.
Then the Prime Minister Stephen King speaking in the year 2009, September of 2009, in the aftermath of that tragic incident in the south of St. Lucia. It was only last month that a team of officials from the Ministry of Health, consisting of administrative and clinical staff, visited the St. Jude Hospital project. We have this report filed by Fennell Neptune of the Ministry of Health.
A team from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, including the Permanent Secretary, Jenny Daniel, Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Glensford Joseph, and other health officers, conducted a visit to the reconstruction site of the St. Jude Hospital. Given the government's commitment to ensure that the St. Jude Hospital is reopened at the soonest to serve the people in the south of the island, the visit was very timely and necessary for the health team, as it gave an opportunity to oversee the development and substantial progress made thus far on the health facility. With the ministry having a keen interest in the provision of quality health services at the St. Jude Hospital, the Permanent Secretary spoke on the need to bring both clinical and administrative personnel to oversee the works and to ensure it is of the best standards for patients and staff members.
Of course, the St. Jude Hospital is a primary healthcare facility in terms of secondary healthcare provision on island in the south. And so therefore, we are always interested at the ministry in knowing what the progress is in terms of the transitioning from the hospital into this new facility. Today was really groundbreaking for us in terms of this project. It is the first time that we have had such a large group in terms of and a wide variety of professionals from the ministry providing, oversight at this stage of the project to ensure that, the coverage in terms of the service levels that are being provided, in terms of the equipment, in terms of, the overall physical infrastructure in which the services will be provided, ensuring that, everything is as per and as per the designs that were submitted.
Following the thorough walkthrough of the reconstruction site of the St. Jude Hospital, the Permanent Secretary, Jenny Daniel, acknowledged the hard work, significant progress made, and near completion of this project which will tremendously benefit the community.
So today's visit revealed a lot of progress has taken place on this site, a tremendous amount of effort and progress in terms of the redevelopment of the site and the hospital. We really are excitedly looking forward to, an imminent transition of the hospital to these facilities. It will provide us the relief that the staff need in terms of the provision of services, and also provide a glimmer of hope to the clients and the patients and the residents of the South in general. And based on what we have seen during these visits, we are really certain that, this move will happen in a very, shortest period of time as possible. And we are satisfied with the progress that has been made, very satisfied with the progress that has been made so far.
The permanent secretary concluded the visit with a word of assurance that the reconstruction of St. Jude Hospital marks a crucial breakthrough for the government in ensuring that secondary health care is provided to the people in the south of the island. Reporting from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I am Fennel Neptune.
All right, thank you so much, Fennel Neptune, for that report, which was filed last month, focusing on a visit to the site of the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project by clinical and administrative staff of the Ministry of Health. On the political front, there are some people in this country, they believe that they have the right, almost the exclusive right, to tell you which political party you should support, and by extension, which candidate you should be supporting. And you should probably always have a red t-shirt on you, a red underwear, etc., or a yellow t-shirt. And it's really not your business. We're supposed to be in a democracy where people, probably through their ideology, because of their own experiences or their biases, they want to support the United Workers' Party. That's for them to do. And likewise, they want to support the St. Lucia Labour Party. What is wrong with that? This has nothing to do with you, because you as the individual wants to encroach on their rights. You also have that right as a St. Lucian to support the SLP or the UWP or NOP or an independent candidate. And you read certain comments on Facebook demeaning, belittling, very offensive, disrespectful, just because you don't see eye to them, eye to eye with them on politics. You'll have one thing in common, you'll have St. Lucians. But when it comes to supporting one party or the other, that's where you certainly have decided to, take a different path, go in a different direction. And they just cannot respect that. But those same individuals might be critical of you because you're supporting the UWP or the SLP. At one time, they were supporting those same parties. And they broke ranks. And very often, for selfish reasons. Could not get contracts. They could not have their way in a political party. They could not have their way with the leader. They jumped ship. And now they're supporting another political party. But they believe that somehow it is their God-given right to tell you which party to support. I can't believe, man, that you are supporting this party. I can't believe that you are supporting this leader or this particular candidate. Everyone in St. Lucia cannot just decide one day to support one political party. All the voters of St. Lucia one day deciding, I want to be an SLP, I'm supporting the SLP. That's the right party for St. Lucia. Philip Pierre is the best thing that's happened to this country. I want him to remain as Prime Minister forever and ever and ever. And the same applies to the UWP. Everyone should support the UWP, and Alan Shastey should be the prime minister forever. That's not how it works. So you're out of place when you do those things. So here is this woman. I think she's known as K. She's on social media. And she's taking some people to task because she had a yellow shirt on Sunday at their rally. And people were posting messages on a Facebook page criticizing her for appearing to be, because she's saying that she's not a supporter of ISLP or UWP, but she was there vending. She had a yellow shirt on. Let's listen and watch.
Yesterday, there was a UWP rally in Mikud, right? So, since I'm from the area, I'm like, you know what? You know me already, I'm a hustler. I pull up with my tent. I got a t-shirt on my way to Mikud. I pull up with my tent. I set up my drinks. And I put the t-shirt on, the UWP t-shirts. And then I posted, I did a video and I posted, you know, where I'm going to be. I let people know where to find me, with what drinks I have and whatever. I posted it. May say people started flooding my inbox. People started commenting under my video. You are UWP, shaking my head. Young woman like you. And especially Miss Catherine Silly. That one. I don't show that, but I don't show the same Miss Silly. But Miss Catherine. May say you'll have to stop that. The woman started posting, you voting for UWP? For a white man that do this, a white man that do that. May say some are doing politics. May say, listen, I am a hustler. I go and I make my money. You understand? You all need to stop that. You're in my inbox to tell people where to vote. I am 28 years old. I vote where the fuck I want. Ma labor, ma flabo. Saki pay me for vote, no problem. May the highest bidder wins. But you all need to stop it. You understand? I'm out there. I'm not in motorcade jumping and quarreling on Facebook with people, arguing with people for politics. I'm here under my tent, baby, making my little dollar to feed myself and my children. You all have a problem with that, with me wearing a shirt. T-shirt that tell you choose what it tell you all them way. Next week, if Labour has something, I'm going to be where it is, and I'm going to have my Labour t-shirt also. When you pass by home, you will see yellow and red t-shirts. Because guess what?
My apologies for the expletives. We did try to edit it out. So don't blame me, blame my producer, okay? So it's not my fault. But we do apologize for that. But he himself, he attempted to do it, but I think there was some kind of technical glitch. My apologies again. If this offended you, it certainly was not something that was deliberate. Apologies. But you got the message, the gist of the content. Time for your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. A few comments here. NewsSpinner says, we want a completed hospital with equipment and staff in all departments fully operational. That is what they promised, a completed hospital. A commentary says, I heard the stadium has mold, that's why they are rushing to finish St. Jude's. A NewsSpinner says, is this something we should really be talking about after 16 years of rebuilding? A commentary reads, but are there DCA approved plans for the chicken coops, waving papers, swallowing vomit and updating? Someone says here, the people of the South supported their downfall. A commentary reads, with all the money they are borrowing, 16 years, you cannot finish a hospital. A NewsSpinner says that we should be showing off a beautiful modern hospital with the amounts of donations they received. A commentary says, come on guys, are they really using part of the box? No way, I can't believe it. Really? The box they were making jokes about? Shake my head. A commentary reads, it's an outrage and shame on all administrations who have been elected and represented St. Lucia subsequent to that incident. Someone says here, I need an updated interview with Stevenson King to get his perspective on St. Jude's. A commentary says, is reopened at the soonest, so there isn't a targeted date that the construction company has to comply with. A NewsSpinner says here, Tim, the reconstruction is still in its teenage years. Commentary reads, more money for less hospital beds. Shake my head. Commentary reads, last time I checked, St. Lucia was a democratic nation. A NewsSpinner says here in the chat room, I thought all that was needed to complete St. Jude was a little bit of bleach. NewsSpinner says there, yes, sir, team, because they can't have their way. They always jump ship and then want to come and crucify you when you do not agree with them. And the commentary reads, nowadays I get all of my exercises from shaking my head in disbelief of the way some people are hating on each other for political reasons. It's sad. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
You know what the facts really are, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
It's that we are 4 years into an administration that said that they could have completed the older structure in quick time. Now, remember when Alan said that the amount of work that was in the older structure would have taken so much money that it would be easier to build a new structure, and which is what they did. They did not complete the hospital itself, but the structure is there. And so the other fact is that we received $200 and how many $million from the QAT it was?
About the US 75 million?
Yeah, part of it was supposed to go and complete St. Jude's. The other part was supposed to go and refurbish the stadium in Beaufort. Now, Tim, 4 years plus after, you don't know, I don't know, nobody else knows how much money from that 200 plus million has been placed on that St. Jude hospital. And what people are telling me today, Tim, is that I met a hospital worker who told me, I don't care how much it takes to finish, but I just wanted to finish. I'm saying that, yes, you wanted to finish, Tim, but at what cost?
That's how those people deal with their personal projects? No, that's not how they deal with them. No? You understand?
Exactly. You negotiate and you look to see where you can get a cheaper and still good product at the end of the day.
You need a budget.
But you see, this is what the Labour Party is riding on today, Tim, because they know that people need the hospital, and it does not matter for them. It does not matter how much it costs, because they don't understand that the more it costs is the more taxes we will have to pay. You understand? The more the government will have to implement measures to get the money to pay those monies back. Because what the QAT gave us, it was not a grant. It was a loan. We have to pay it back. And so the more money you put on that structure, whereas it would have cost you so much less, because I think what they're telling to us that is not the truth, Tim. They're making it look like the new structure, yes, it would have cost a good bit of money to finish the whole structure. But the thing is, the bottom floor is what that was being looked to complete, because the bottom floor is what that would have housed the whole of St. Jude's. And the moment you had completed the bottom floor, you could have go ahead after you put St. Jude's in there and complete the top floor on your own time. But they're not telling the people that. And they keep on telling us, feeding us with the lies, and the people who refuse to use their heads are telling you it doesn't matter how much it costs. How can you tell me it doesn't matter? With all the things the Labour Party is putting in right now, all the little perks and the little handouts they're giving, all of that is good. But at the end of the day, where are the jobs? Okay, for people like me who's not a pensioner, people like me who's not a government worker, I don't benefit from those things, Tim. And it is not enough so much that it is not causing government workers to spend money outside there, because I am outside there, I hustle, I do my own thing, I process, I go outside, I go and sell things. And I am telling you, sales are not as what it was before, because people don't spend like before. We'll be there by the roadside and vendors sleeping on them things, because sales are not what it used to be before. People don't work like it used to, because the government is not creating the initiatives that will cause people to work. And that is what people need to look at today. Are you better off today with the little increase that the government gave you on your salary? than you were before. Because cost of living have gone so far up that it has bypassed all of that. No matter what they put on you there right now, cost of it almost does not make a difference, because the cost of living that has been brought up on us by the Labour Party has surpassed all of those initiatives that they're giving today. Have a good day, Tim.
You too, sir.
Thank
you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have another call as we say hello and good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Let's see if you have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. No, we don't. Okay, let's see if we get some more of your calls coming in. Let's say good afternoon again. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin.
Good afternoon, Tim, and how are you doing?
I'm okay. How about you, caller?
I'm fine, thank you. Let us take that the building of the hospital. No matter which of the ones they're talking about, the old St. Jude's or the new facility, right?
Yeah.
Let us take it from another angle. I don't care which of the administrations finish it, okay? Will the service of the hospital be better than what we're getting or what we were getting? Will it be? Will the nurses and the doctors be more efficient than what they were before? Because that is the most important thing too. I mean, the building, don't get me wrong, right? The building is, and all the equipment in it will be good. Will the service be better with all the equipment be put in it? I want to know.
Yeah.
You know,
because people are talking, people are boasting about the OKEU hospital and the Millennium Heights Medical Facility and all that, okay? But does it translate to you getting an efficient service, reliable service that's being provided to you in a timely manner? I don't know if the answers to those questions are yes. I don't know.
Because I'm still hearing of people, and that has happened to me too. I'm still hearing of people sitting down in the hallways of those of OKEU and waiting for days without service. I want to know if the service will be better.
That's crucial.
You know,
that's important.
That's the most important thing. You know, will you spend 2 and 3 days in a chair sitting down? You know, that's what I want to know. I don't care who finishes it. I want to know when I go to the hospital, I'm being taken care of properly by a nurse or a doctor. There's their bed. Because most of them, they tell you, you have no beds. After building a new hospital, there's no beds. There's no this, there's no that. I want to know if it's going to be better. That's what I want to know. I don't care who finishes it. And the South should have had that hospital. It's 16 years. You take 16 years to build a hospital. There was a hospital I used to go to with my brother, not too far from where he lived. They were sort of building a part of it. In fact, most of it. It took about 6 months, 6 to 9 months, to build.
That's overseas.
6 to 9 months. That's in the States.
Okay.
In Brooklyn. 6 to 9 months, and everything put in. Everything put in. You know, I want to know if when I go to that hospital, if it's going to be better. If the people of the South are going to be much better. Because I'm telling you, if, God forbid, something happens down in the South, on Hironora International Airport, we're in, according to our partner, we're in doo-doo. We're in doo-doo.
Okay, caller.
Tim.
Thank you so much.
Number one.
You too, sir. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have another call. As we say, hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, team.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
I have one question before I make any comments, and I'll not make any comments today, but I'll get back to it. Depends on the answer that I get. Is there a flag? Is there that flag, LGBTQ flag next to the St. Lucia flag.
Where? I know that
In Castries.
I know this flag was raised somewhere a couple days ago. Yes, there is such a flag.
So, is it next to the St. Lucia flag?
I am not too sure, ma'am.
Tim, can you find that out for me, please?
Yes, I will
before I make my comments. I need the facts first before I say anything.
And I'm sure somebody will be able to verify that before we conclude the broadcast. But thank you so much for the question. We'll try to clarify.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see if I could go through some of your messages. In the meantime, let's see if we have a call on the landline. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, the young lady down Miku know well everything is politics. Next time, put a white shirt. Minister King may be happy he's not to answer on St. Jude. Poor job, Health Minister and Prime Minister. That is your boo-boo. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there, the SLP administration is so full of crap. They are busy glorifying how they're going to be giving nursing students a certain amount of money, but they're not putting it out there that it comes with a deal. If you take the so-called donation or stipend, they refer to it as, you have to commit to work for the government for a certain number of years in return. Shaking my head. Why not put everything out there? They are busy broadcasting just one part of their deal. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, yes, caller, my sister-in-law is still in the hallway in the ER at OKEU from Saturday. My brother stayed in the hallway in the ER at OKEU in January for 4 days and was discharged from the ER. Okay, let's see there. Somebody says there, the LGBTQIA plus flag was officially raised in St. Lucia on Friday, August the 29th at the official French residence. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says, the LGBTQ flag was raised at the entrance of the French embassy residence over in Redouy. We have a call. Good afternoon to you, NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Tim. I realize when you will make a contribution on your program, because I'm a listener for many years on your program, Tim. Many years. From the time you started your program, I've been a listener. And Tim, trust me, by the time you voice your opinion, people start to tell you, this man is singing for his supper. I realize on numerous occasions I voice my opinion, and people is calling back your show and say I'm singing for my supper. Tim, I have suppers. Tim, I don't need no government. I just want to let some people know that I don't need no government to get nothing from them. The Labour Party have been in power for 4.5 years now, or 4 years and going. I've not received one contract from them, Tim. Not one.
But if you get one, you won't say you don't want it, right?
No, Tim. On my grandson live team, I've not received one contract.
No. I'm just saying,
my grandson that just born.
But if you're given a contract, you won't say no to it? No?
No, I won't say no, Tim. But the government have the priorities. They have the things in place. I don't go to them to look for work. I don't need the government to give me work. I go out and get work for myself, Tim. I'm a hustler from birth. I believe in principle. This is about country. I don't come and defend Labour Party because I want something from Labour Party. I defend what I see is right in my country, Tim. Tim, some people intend to, if it is the Labour Party, they will defend the Labour Party because they want to get the big contracts. The Flabo, the very same thing with them. They want to get the big contracts. They want to get this. They want to get high office. A bunch of crooks. Tim, that's what they are. A lot of them. They just they're all in it for them, for themselves. I in this for country, Tim, my country, because I have my kids and my grandchildren raising in this place, Tim. I've gone through phases in this country. I've done more contribution for the organizations of St. Lucia than any one of them put together, Tim. I have record to prove it, Tim. Donations to this one, donations to this one, donations to hospital, donations fire service, donations to police station, donations to Supre, to the Boys Training Center, the donation to different places, Tim. I have letters, Tim. I have letters pile up, Tim, that I can prove it. I'm not talking just because I want to talk, Tim. I'm telling you, I do things and I act in this country to represent my country, to do well for my country. And when people going to call back and say he's a hack, yeah, I'm a hack, but I'd rather be a hack, in the interest of my country, not a hack for people that is just for the self, benefiting for the self alone. Tim, it is a heartbreaking thing. Sometimes when you make your contribution and you hear this kind of, remarks, it has hurt your feelings, Tim, because I know I am not in this for no handout. I am not one of those that sit on the roadside and beg for handout, Tim. I go out and get, Tim. And I appreciate you giving me that liberty to make it out to them, to let them know the way I feel about them, Tim. You understand? Tim, and I am looking forward for the proud St. Lucian, Reno Cowboy Kajada, to deliver that hospital very soon. And Reno is going to do it. Reno is one of the St. Lucians that I look up to. I don't know why he ain't go for leadership in this country, but I would be proud of him if he go for Prime Minister, Tim. Because this man, he have it all cut out, for development in this country. Bravo to you again, Reno. Tim, thank you for your opportunity.
All right. Thank you so much. But people are already saying that Reno is the de facto Prime Minister of St. Lucia, so I don't know if he has to still contest elections. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Reno. Kajada, by the way. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, up to this day, our people have not given any serious explanation except political jargon as to why 2 fire engines cost $36.3 million. There was a press release from SLASPA when the handing over ceremony was done with a photo of the Prime Minister, the Minister of Port Services, other ministers, port and fire service officials. I will not rest until the truth is obtained. If the release was incorrect, then I would like it corrected, or else I will shout corruption. SLASPA is close to my heart, and serving on the board for 17 years in service to my country, I need answers, or I need an answer, or will deal with it in my way. And since he said that he has served on the board for 17 years, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me identifying him. That's a WhatsApp message from Mr. Oswald Augustine. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We have a call from a special lady. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. You are on the air. Hello?
Hi, good day.
Good afternoon to you, special lady. How are you?
I'm very well, Tim. How are you?
I am okay, Miss Mondi Lewis. What's on your mind?
Well, I heard you reading your WhatsApp message from, and once you read it, I knew it was from Aussie Boy, because we did have this discussion about the SLASPA release. And I indicated to him that it was incorrect and provided him with correct information from what the fire chief said. I also spoke to Mr. Darren Snack, the general manager of SLASPA, and asked him to correct the press release. All of this I indicated to Mr. Augustine. So I am not sure why he persists on this line of 2 fire engines costing $34 million. That is incorrect. I have corrected it, and I have provided invoices on my social media account to Mr. Augustine. So I really think he should drop the issue, because it's a non-issue, and it has been corrected.
Okay, so you're saying that there was an error in stating that the 2 fire engines cost $36.3 million.
SLASPA's release was wrong, and I indicated that to him. I presented the invoices that the fire department used to purchase the fire engines, and it was nowhere near $34 million.
Okay. So maybe you need, apart from having it on social media, you need to have it in the electronic media and print media, etc., so that you'll get wider coverage.
Well, I don't understand why Mr. Augustine is persistent on that.
I'm just saying for a moment, forget Mr. Augustine.
To him on the matter personally.
Yeah, forget Mr. Augustine. What about the other people?
Well, he's the one persisting with the matter. He's the one, you read his message, so that's why I'm saying. And he said he would not rest. And I'm like, but we've already corrected this issue. Okay. So I don't get it.
So what's the cost? Do you have right now at your disposal the cost for the 2 fire engines?
If I could access my page at this time, Jimmy, you may have to bear with me.
Yes, I'll give you some time to address this, because I think it is important that we clarify this particular issue, because I don't think Mr. Augustine is the only one who's concerned about this. Go ahead, please.
So so we have for the airport rescue, so that's the aerodrome, that's the bigger of the two, the yellow one. Mm-hmm. It costs $1.029 million, right? And we have the just the normal firefighting vehicle. It costs 650,000 euros. So, and all that is widely available on my government official page, which I actually did an ad for, so that it would have a little wider view than the normal people who look at my organic views.
Right.
So I think we did put it out there, but I have no problem in repeating these things and in correcting, because I get it that not everybody hears the news at the same time or gets the same news all the time.
Okay, ma'am.
But this has been corrected.
Okay. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, welcome.
Bye.
You just heard there from Miss Mondi Lewis, Administrative Attaché to the Prime Minister. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We'll be back in just a minute or two with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And, of course, we'll continue the discussion. And Amanda will have an update regarding comments in the chat room.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Hey Lucelec, Sherry here. I've been hearing all about my account and its features. Can you really do all that?
Absolutely, Sherry. I'm Taisha, by the way. My account is your all-in-one power hub. You can check your bill. It's even emailed to you every month. Need a copy? You can download a PDF version anytime. You can manage multiple accounts and paying is a breeze. Use your card or opt for online bank payments. Thank you. Whatever suits you best. Keeping tabs on your energy use? You got it. Track your consumption, download payment records, and see how you stack up against previous months and others nearby.
Thanks for breaking it down A1, Taisha.
You got it, Sherry. My account puts the power in your hands. Remember, it's your energy, your way.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Flow's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or launcher. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or 121-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney Bay, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Let's Bet Sports is turning up the heat this CPL season with a sizzling on-ticket island-wide promotion. Bet just $10 online or in-store and score a letter coupon with every ticket. Collect the letters FLY and you're jetting off to an ultimate cricket experience at the CPL Finals in Guyana. An all-expense paid trip for two, tickets to the finals, and $500 in your pocket. Plus, win match tickets, cricket jerseys, and cash prizes on the road to the finals. It's game time from August 4th to September 14th. Claim your prize at the SNL office in Gablewoods Mall, Castries. Play, win, fly to Guyana with Let's Bet Sports. Powered by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Terms and conditions apply. Your favorite event of the year is back. Project Chocolat presents Souk of Blanc, the ultimate all-white experience featuring Ola Tunjay.
In the engine room, we go jam instead.
Umpa.
Press off your one drop.
Back to by TYP.
I want to.
To Soufriere, Saturday, October 4th, Souk of Blanc. Also featuring Sir Lancelot, Hollywood HP, DJ Shocking, and hosted by MC Dornaville. Regular tickets $120, all-inclusive VIP $350. Very limited, no door sales. Available at the Cell Island-wide, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, and 4circustickets.com. Souk of Blanc, Saturday, October 4th, from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Remember the dress code, all white.
Attention, Babono!
This Tuesday, September 9th, at the Babonneau Multipurpose Center from 7 p.m., come and meet your newly endorsed candidate, John Paul Estefan. He's ready to deliver jobs for our youth, support for our farmers, stronger, safer communities, and a brighter future for Babonneau. Come hear from our Prime Minister and political leader, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, along with other MPs, as together we continue to move St. Lucia forward. Don't miss it. Tuesday, September 9th, Babonneau Multipurpose Center, 7 p.m. sharp. Come out, show your support, and let's build the future of Babonneau together with John Paul Estefan.
Thank you so much for staying with this. The most monitored talk show in the world. On the line, we have Mr. Oswald Augustine. Good afternoon to you, sir. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon.
No matter where I am, Tim, I am listening.
You would have heard from Miss Mondi Lewis, and you're calling from overseas. What say you to the explanation that she gave?
Tim, I had a conversation with her, and she did WhatsApp some invoices. Tim, these invoices, they mean nothing to me. The clarity which I need is there was a press release and there were photos, which of course I sent to you. If an error was made, I need the error corrected. Okay, these invoices mean nothing to me because there's a talk show host that actually said that whatever they purchased cost $9 million. I think you may have heard it one Tuesday. Okay, so something is not clear. If SLASPA made an error in the release which went out there when the handover ceremony was taking place, there needs to be a correction. Tim, I'm going to go down in that thing for you, because I need to know. As a taxpayer in this country, I need to know. Because it's silly season, and I know what can happen with funding like that, with that kind of funding. I know. I've been in town too long. Okay? So that's what I need to say.
What would satisfy you, therefore?
Tim, what would satisfy me? I would like. We have a minister who is an accountant, and she should, in that whole matter, there should be an investigation. People don't come on there, put out releases. Big corporations like that, like SLASPA, important corporations like this, do not put out a press release. Reading those sorts of things. $36.3 million for 2 fire engines. And read it well, Read it. It's clear. It's simple. Clear and simple. Read it well, So, I have been around. And no way fire engines can cost that kind of money. So we need to let's send solutions, or if the government like to just go and just beat them off and say, I've spent how many millions on this, I've spent how many millions on that, I've spent 80 millions on cricket grounds, I've done that. No, we need a correction to that one. Or I'll make a lot of noise about it. A lot of noise. Okay?
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Right.
You just heard there from Mr. Oswald Augustine. He's somewhere overseas and listening to the broadcast. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon to you again. Amanda, what is happening in the chat room?
Tim, a few comments from earlier. NewsSpin says there the government is working in favor of the people and the country. Comment here reads, Team, you very right. You on point. They're dividing the country, vex with neighbor, vex with family. St. Lucians, wake up, respect each other, political affiliations, stop it. Someone says there are no apologies necessary. We are all St. Lucians. The message needed to be delivered in its raw format. Another comment here reads, I am hearing that only part of the stadium staff is being moved, not all, and that St. Jude's will not be fully operational. Doctors and nurses have also made it clear that they will not relocate unless the entire facility is ready. They are already understaffed, and splitting the medical team would create a disaster. Someone says, it's so sad that our people are so ignorant. They think because it's not coming directly from their pockets now, they won't have to pay for it later. Shake my head. A commentary reads, $265 million later, an atrocity. I bet you the mold behind the walls will be coming out to the surface very soon. My father was no engineer or mason, but I know it's coming. A NewsSpinner says, yes, they are just giving them handouts, so they aren't working to contribute anything to the economy. A commentary reads, stop your deflecting caller. A healthy working environment motivates people to work. A commentary reads, St. Lucians wanted betterment for themselves. If St. Lucians wanted betterment for themselves and their country, they would buckle up their shoes and do better than last elections, rather than listening to lies and taking bribes. Someone says that St. Lucia has made world history in terms of the length of time taken to build a hospital, 16 years. A NewsSpinner says here, what I cannot understand is that whilst they are promoting the LGBTQ, they are raising concerns that not enough children are being born for the future of this country. What is it you all want? We are our own enemies. Someone says here, how many are involved with the communication for the government, and why the lack of communication on official pages? Why are official memos being released on personal social media handles versus official government handles? A few comments here from YouTube. It says, St. Jude beat a 16-hour national scar. Another commentary reads, if you can't see yourselves as one people, then we are doomed. No political party will cause me to hate my fellow St. Lucian. When politics is no more, we will know what it is. A commentary on YouTube, it also reads, people do not understand the value of money and you have to account for every penny spent. They need to be good custodians. Commentary says, caller, the functionality of a building is important to serve its specific purpose effectively and efficiently. And the commentary reads, gay people are people too. They do not bother anyone. Get a life. God wouldn't ask sinners to judge others. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. WhatsApp message. Tim, months ago I traveled to St. Lucia along with my small toddler. I took him to the St. Jude Hospital days later for a high fever. The doctor was getting ready to check his ears and said he did not have the necessary tools, so he asked to use my phone's flashlight. I handed it over and he turned on the light. Then he declared the right ear was infected. I'm not sure how he came to that conclusion with just a flashlight, to be honest. Later, when he was taking down information, he asked, which ear is infected again? It's really mind-blowing that doctors don't have access to something simple as an otoscope, which gives a clear view of the ear canal and eardrum. The fact that the doctor made a whole diagnosis with just a phone's flashlight and then he forgot his ear was supposedly infected, that's scary. St. Lucians deserve better. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Just bear with me while we try to access those messages while you call. Okay, let's take a call instead. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you on the air.
That's scary.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother. Just one correction for yesterday. Let me correct something I said yesterday when I stated that the subvention for the college was removed. It was actually reduced and not removed. But then yesterday also as well, and Rick needs to know that I perhaps is a student of his. I have utmost respect for Rick, his capacity to weaponize words and so on and so forth. But for him to ascribe my intent yesterday after making the statement as malicious, I think Rick knows to himself that he was in no position to determine my intent when I made a statement. The fact is, the statement was made and I repeated it. Now, this morning, I like I said, I listen to as much as possible, I try my best to listen to every political pronouncement coming from both institutions and those on the fence as well. This morning I listened to the Prime Minister in the party's press briefing, and there are a few things that actually raise more questions than answers. In that, firstly, let me just say to the reporter that asked the question and stated that they were of the view that national health insurance was meant to free up the cash flow to create a more efficient or to make things run better within the health sector. That statement coming from a reporter underscored the need for better training and highlight the fact that journalism in this country is in crisis. Yeah? The Prime Minister also stated that
when was that briefing? When was that briefing? Because the latest briefing on Monday of this week, the Prime Minister did not address that briefing. So it has to be a briefing of maybe a few weeks ago.
Well, he spoke to the party. It cannot be a few weeks ago because he spoke to the party's policy insofar as what was articulated on Sunday. And yeah, it cannot be. I think it may have been this morning. I didn't check for the date. I simply switch on and saw it and jump in.
Okay.
So it cannot be last week. And he stated that and let us pay attention to the fact that the Prime Minister uses the word contribution as opposed to taxes.
Okay, so it's not hold on. So it's not the Prime Minister making reference to the leader of the opposition.
No, not the leader of the opposition. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, because you kept saying the Prime Minister. All right, okay.
Thank you, Tim. He uses the word contributions as opposed to taxes, which invariably mean that if, God forbid, the opposition were to form the government, they've already indicated one of the new taxes that they intend to implement. Also,
that is what, to finance the health
to finance the
health
illusion
insurance?
Of health insurance.
To finance health insurance. Because you see,
to finance the
because we need it's the fact that we need health insurance, callers. I don't know why you will say the illusion of health insurance. We need, whether it's implemented by the UWP or the SLP government, we need health insurance.
What we need is a comprehensive health structure, systems, which is what I'm telling you, and personnel in place that would actually have our institutions to function as for instance, the hospital to function as a general hospital, be everything to everybody. That is what we need.
Yeah, because health insurance.
We need competent individuals.
What is being proposed?
Because
what is being proposed will have an impact for the entire citizenry. Even those who cannot pay the health insurance, based on what is being said, will be benefiting from this initiative as well.
But if the hospital is in fact a general national hospital, there's no such things as those who cannot pay.
No, but
like I said, it would be everything to everybody.
Don't we have a Millennium Heights Medical Complex, which is like a general hospital, and people still have to pay? And people still cannot afford certain services that are not available at this, our main health institution? But you need to correct it. You need to come up with a mechanism to correct it. And that would include health insurance for everyone in the country. And based on what you're proposing, how are you going to finance it? How will it be financed?
Tim, I am not a technocrat. I would need figures to determine that. Yeah, and so, no. Don't tell me because I am not a baker, I cannot criticize the quality of bread.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you're proposing something, then you need to look at, for example, in your case, in that particular instance, how will it be financed? Because whoever is proposing anything, like, for example, what the opposition is proposing, he would have to explain how will it be financed.
Very much. I am happy you said that, and he have already articulated one means is by introducing a new tax. He also stated that 90,000 persons would bring in between $100 and $120 million thereabout. Meaning, if this suggests that 90,000 persons, almost half the population, would be responsible for subsidizing the rest. And if so be the case, Tim, we have to take into account, we don't have nothing exporting, our GDP determines, like he said, whether or not he removed the taxes depend on the state of the economy at the time. We want everything, but there are limitations insofar as what a country on a GDP of our size could reach. You know what I'm saying? And anybody would admit that as it is a fact. Case in point, we had...
You're saying, go ahead, caller, go ahead.
For instance, we're speaking about roads. On the eve of a general election, 4.5 years ago, the government was helter-skelter looking for loans to repair roads when there was a mechanism from the inception of the then government, which was $1.50 tax on every gallon, every liter thereabout of fuel, geared at maintaining roads. And at the end of the day, yet still, at 4.5 years, we were up and down looking for loans, I'm telling you, to fix roads. And then if the Prime Minister is going to state now, you know what I'm telling you, that's why yesterday I said he have an epiphany. That if the Prime Minister is going to state now that he's going to take away, or rather grant a reprieve, exemption for those in the South with regards to paying for the carrying of the dam. At the time, fishermen then said that they don't use roads. Why they now should receive a reprieve? They now should be exempted from the 150 tax. But then that sounded foolish then.
No, but the fishermen, when you say they're not using roads, so many fishermen I know who have vehicles.
Tim, in applying their craft, because I don't think a fisherman was speaking of the fuel he buy to ship from there to there. He was speaking of the 50, 60, 80 gallons of fuel they purchase as a normal to go to sea. So please, Tim, let's not play with words, what I mean? Let's not, exactly, let's not do that. Please, the population need to be enlightened. The population need to be educated and not cajoled into making decisions simply because. Let us embark on that. For instance, case in point, can both of us decide now that, and have your followers to demand, let's make a public demand that the political parties debate each other. Can we agree on that?
We're going to demand that, and you expect the politicians, because we demand, you expect them to acquiesce, to give in to our demands? How long have we been demanding this? How long have we been demanding this? And the politicians, the politicians are the ones calling the shots on this issue. They are the ones calling the shots.
We've been floating it about. Like somebody said earlier on, you know what I'm telling you, that with regards to the correction Miss Lewis said she made to Oswald, it should be on every official government site. It should be printed. It should be on the government, I'm telling you, social media interface platforms. He was right about that. Let us now be right about it. Let us demand. We've been floating in the air the concept or the idea of debates. Some time ago, I heard somebody talk as to which format it should take. I'm highlighting the US format. Nonsense. We will develop an indigenous format. You know what I'm telling you? Based on efficacy, on civility, transparency, accountability, to guide our debates. Let's stop thinking that we're small and we cannot do nothing.
Okay, caller, we have to end it there. We have to take a break. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And of course, Amanda will have another update for us. Stay with us.
We've just finished dinner, and before we all head off, let's do something very important. Let's go over our hurricane prep list. We need food, water, medicine, important documents. What else? Right, the generator. This year, I'm not taking any chances. I'm getting ours from Europa Hardware in Massad Grocery. Best prices around. And believe me, I don't want to hear, "Daddy, the Wi-Fi's down," when the power's out. Keep your family comfortable. Get your generator at Europa Hardware. Call us today at 452-0763. Europa Hardware, located in Massad Grocery. We service what we sell.
Lucelec wishes to advise customers and the public that its customer service office at the Carolic building in San Souci remains closed to facilitate urgent maintenance. The Lucelec Rodney Bay and Vieux-Fort offices are open to serve customers, and the kiosk in the Blue Coral Mall is available for all services except payments. Customers who wish to make payments during this closure are encouraged to access the My Account service at myaccount.lucelec.com. SurePay's online and walk-in service options, or participating financial institutions. Payments made via SurePay and My Account Direct on weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. will be processed to customer accounts the same day. Payments made after 4 p.m. will be processed the next business day. For account balances, please dial the automated account inquiry service line at 457-4433. Customers can access other Luselect services by using the virtual service desk at luselect.com. The management of Luselect deeply regrets any inconvenience caused by this closure and thanks its valued customers for their patience and understanding.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong, no matter what, we keep things flowing. Before we will go all in, our hands up in the sky, celebrating. Come, let your rhythm flow.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of a secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Have you had a stroke or symptoms like numbness, headaches, or back pain? When your body sends a warning, don't wait. MRI is the gold standard for seeing what other imaging can miss, like brain damage, spine issues, and early cancer. At La Clinique de Corps, we are the only center in St. Lucia offering the most advanced MRI technology. Fast, radiation-free, expertly interpreted, and insurance accepted. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. La Clinique de Corps, Center of Excellence, where quality meets expertise.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Yes. That was the Lucia Top 5 for Carnival 2025. Yes. Welcome back to Real Men Take Charge, guys. Real Men Check Up.
To all my listeners out there, visit a men's health clinic in your area today.
PSA checkups are now free.
It's private, it's quick, it's efficient, and convenient.
Music touches the soul, but health keeps the rhythm going. Fellas, it's time to check your PSA levels. It's free, it's simple, it can save your life.
Brothers, do you not know that your bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit? Let us be wise stewards of our lives. Prostate test saves lives. Let us not wait until it is too late.
To be a champion, you need to show up for yourself. I'm encouraging every man to take the step. Get checked. Stay strong. Do it for the team. Do it for your family.
My daddy is a hero, and I want him around for a very long time. Daddy, if you care about me, please take care of your health.
I faced colon and prostate cancer head on, and I'm still standing. Early detection saved my life. If I can do it, so can you. Don't wait. Get tested. It's free, it's simple, and it will definitely save your life also.
Real men.
Real men.
Real men take charge.
Real men check up.
The National Insurance Corporation is now even closer to you. We've opened a brand new branch at the Blue Coral Mall in the heart of Castries. Our new location is more spacious, more convenient, and designed with you in mind, making your visits faster, easier, and more comfortable. Whether you're submitting a claim, checking your contributions, or planning for retirement, we're here to serve you better. With branches on the Castries waterfront, Rodney Bay, Viewport, Soufriere, and now our brand new location at Blue Coral Mall in Castries. Getting service from the NIC has never been more convenient. So, visit us today. NIC, for the benefit of us all.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, we pay tribute to Officer 642 Tyson. But first, the NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, exactly 16 years after its destruction by fire, still no St. Jude Hospital? Exactly 16 years after its destruction by fire, still no St. Jude Hospital? The NewsSpin question of the day, followed by the NewsSpin news of the day. It reads, Venezuela's Maduro pledges own anti-drug operations under Trump pressure. Venezuela's Maduro pledges own anti-drug operations under Trump pressure. So, Officer 642 Tyson died under tragic circumstances in June of this year. Finally, military parade and funeral service for the K9 will take place tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning, and that is at the Rambali Funeral Parlor over in V4. So ahead of this, we pay a tribute to Officer 642 Tyson.
Yeah. This one's for the partner who never flinched. The soldier who ran in when others backed out. Rest easy, K9. We got the watch from here. Started as a pup with a spark in his soul. Trained for the badge, locked in on his goal. From sit to search, from track to bite. He lived for the mission, he lived for the fight. Tail don't wag unless it's go time. In the backseat, riding on the front line. Sniffing out danger, sharp and cold. With a vest on tight and a heart of gold. Never spoke a word, but he knew the code. Brother in blue, walking the same road. One bark, one move, and the world stood still. He had the nose, the nerves, the will. One badge, one name and stone. Ran through the fire, but never alone. Side by side till the very last breath. K9 strong, ain't afraid of death. You held that line like a soldier would. Did more for the streets than most men could. Now you're gone, but your soul won't fade. You're a legend in blue, forever made. Save lives you'll never see on the news. Chase suspects down with nothing to lose. Took a bullet for the crew, no questions asked. Did the work, never needed a mask. Through alleyways, through midnight fog. A warrior's heart in the body of a dog. He found the lost, stood his ground. Always alert to the smallest sound. He ain't just fur, he ain't just teeth. He was justice, walking through the streets. One command, and he leaped with pride. His handler knew he'd never leave his side. Pause, one badge, one name and stone. Ran through the fire, but never alone. Side by side to the very last breath. K9 strong, ain't afraid of death. You held that line like a soldier would. Did more for the streets than most men could. Now you're gone, but your soul won't fade. You're a legend in blue, forever made. Badge retired, leash laid down. Your watch is over now, but your legacy still walking these streets. Yeah. So we howl at the moon for the one we lost. Every hero's tale comes with the cost. You ain't just a dog, you were born for this. A partner, a fighter, impossible to miss. With folded flag and silent tears, we honor your service through the years. You ran that race and you ran it true. Now the sky's got a badge and it's looking like you. Cause one badge, one name and stone. Ran through the fire but never alone. Side by side to the very last breath. K9 strong, ain't afraid of death. You held that line like a soldier would. Did more for the streets than most men could. Now you're gone, but your soul won't fade. You're a legend in blue, forever made.
Just pay tribute there to Officer 642 Tyson, and we have a military parade and funeral service for the K9, and that will take place tomorrow morning, 10:30 at the Rambali Funeral Parlor over in V4. We'll be monitoring, and if possible, we will be reporting on Officer Tyson's funeral service during the course of tomorrow afternoon's NewsSpin program. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room. Amanda.
Tim and NewsSpin says here exactly, there was a press release for the announcement. Do the same for the correction. But to put out a little post on your personal page will not do. A comment here reads, does sound fishy though. Such a big corporation making such a silly error makes no sense. And NewsSpinner says there can't take anything this government or any of its officials says seriously. Another comment here reads, Tim, the caller is not right on the pronouncements made by Shasney. Shasney made it clear that those who can't afford will make a contribution from their salary. Those who can't, government will make the contributions for them. Someone says there we need health insurance. Yes, we need a health system in place in conjunction with health insurance. A comment here reads, everywhere in the world attached to health insurance there is a copay. So what's the problem with a copay instead of having to pay for the whole bill? Will and come again. And NewsSpinner says there, are you serious, caller? What about decisions now being made in secret on our behalf? A commentary says, but we have a sovereign wealth fund. A commentary says, today would have been an ideal day to open the St. Jude Hospital. Someone says there is so big funeral and no autopsy report. NewsSpinner says here, the night crawlers from a certain community could have looked into their crystal ball and told us by now what happened to K9 Tyson. A NewsSpinner says here, we need answers to this murder. Officer Tyson was protection for all of us. So sad. Yes, he was a dog, but he was justice. Now justice is murdered and they claim to give us justice. Nonsense. We need accountability from our government. A few comments here on YouTube, it says in St. Lucia, what most people do not realize, that through the ignorance of many people, it causes the rest of the country to suffer from the consequences of their ignorance. Comment here on YouTube, it also reads, let him do his digging. If he worked at Slasper and they were the ones who made the mistake, then the info he's looking for should not be hard to find. That's it for me, Tim.
All right, thank you so much, Amanda. Let's take a final call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Tim, I got to tell you again, boy. I tell you, you're too popular. I've been calling you since God.
So many people are calling the show. I mean, I check normally. Sometimes we miss hundreds of calls, and that's no exaggeration. But go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that. Tim, there are a number of phrases and rhetorical questions that we have embraced over the years. And we just say them without even thinking and not even questioningly. Have you ever gotten up in the morning and said just while you're shaving, wow, now let me see what I can do for my country today? Have you ever caught yourself doing
all
that?
the time I do that.
That's the first thing you do, right?
I ponder, yes.
And you say, what can I do to help
How can
my
I
country
make
today?
how can I make a positive difference?
Eh?
Yes. How can I make a positive difference?
For my country.
Yes.
And have you come up with any ideas yet?
In terms of what? Because you think, for example, of the crime problem. What can be done? Probably they could utilize the technology that is so available, that is on the market, that is constantly changing. Utilize it. Let's follow, for example, the examples of Jamaica. The murder rate has been reduced by 43% over in Jamaica for this year alone.
And how did the Jamaican citizen, while he's shaving?
The use of technology. They have utilized the use of technology, more training. You're talking about the government of Jamaica.
Well, see, maybe you misunderstood my question, Tim. Because I'm 200 years old, and I have never met anyone here, overseas, who ever talked to me about getting up in the morning, and the first thing that occurs to them is, what can I do for my country? What people do and what I do, and people I know, is they see how they can prosper in life, how they can get a better life for their kids, how they can upgrade their standard of living, and stuff like that. They don't steal, they don't rob people, they don't cause crime, etc. So the way you help your country is behave yourself. Now, but we hear it all the time, I'm not doing this for I'm doing it for my country. Tim, the only people who do things for country are people in the public service, and they're not doing it for country, doing it for a job. I have a reason for going there. Because we seem to just say those things, we're doing it for country. When in fact, we encourage a whole bunch of criminal, retrogressive, dangerous stuff for real, while saying I'm doing it. For example, when you don't demand accountability for your, from the government in office, is that a good thing?
No, it's bad. It's atrocious.
It's very bad. When you say nothing about a prison overflowing for years now with people who are in custodial remand and not getting their day in court, are you doing something good to the country?
You lack a
I'll
conscience.
tell you what you're doing.
You're
setting a horrible precedent that sooner or later will become normal, which is where we are today. A whole bunch of horrific things have been normalized because of neglect by the people, the same people who are talking about doing things for their country. Tim, people get paid for the public service and they do it as a job. What is expected of you is to behave yourself in the best interest of your country. Well, you don't have to think of that. Behave yourself and be a good citizen. In fact, that's probably the best phrase. Be a good citizen. Don't steal. Don't beat traffic lights. If you see somebody's in need of assistance, help them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk a bunch of crap when a serious discussion is going on. Now, we come to the hospital. Tim, I've been writing about that hospital almost from the time of the burning. And in all that time, my articles have always centered on what caused the fire, was the building insured, as time moved on, when are we going to get a hospital again, the service of the hospital? And over the years, for how many years now?
16 years. Today, exactly, 16 years.
I've been doing exactly that. And we still have no answers about how much money, why did the hospital cost $400 million, and the matter of the insurance, was it insured, and what happened to the money? We don't know any accounting on this. And even now, those of us who are criticizing what's going on in the hospital, now that's why they're not going to like Rick Wayne again. Tim, we should all be happy if St. Jude becomes operational. Let us accept that. There's no reason for us not to be happy unless we're up to political mischief.
Yeah.
But the question is, And it was asked about the service. Who can answer that service until the place is in operation? Are we going to get a good medicine? Are we going to get this? Are we going to get that? How are you going to know? Who is going to answer that? In other words, Tim, let us put our government's feet to the fire, and not just on the brink of election. And I've been saying so consistently for such a long time. You know that phrase again, are you better off today than you were before? Usually that's what we say, than you were before. The original phrase was by Reagan in 1980 during a debate, a presidential debate with Carter. And he asked, are we better off today than we were 4 years ago? Now, Tim, better off than what, Tim? When we ask the question in St. Lucia. Better off than what, and in what way? We have more crime than ever. More people have been killed by gunfire unresolved than ever before. The justice system has gradually become worse because it's been neglected. It's been very bad almost forever, Tim.
Yeah.
And allowed to deteriorate, it's worse than ever. True?
Absolutely correct.
We had rivers and so on at one time. They're no longer there. We have a lot of people who died from random spraying of poison into the air. Their children probably are dying from it as well. So many things we allowed. We still have cows in the road causing accidents. You know how long that's been going on, Tim?
Up to this morning, I saw some cattle on the highway there on the highway close to Massey in the north of the island there.
How many people you heard of in this country who stood up for right, regardless of what party was in office, stood up for right, spoke out for right, and spoke against wrong?
Just a few, because of late we have Mary Francis, and before I can remember Mr. Martinez François. I don't know what has happened to him, but he was very consistent.
But ordinary citizens as well. Ordinary citizens. So when we ask those questions or make those statements, you know, is putting country first, who is second then, Tim? If you're putting country first, who is second, Tim?
Well, the citizens.
But if you're putting the people first, then who's second? See, these are just empty phrases, Tim. Empty phrases. Our government is supposed to be like a group of people we contracted to do particular work according to a particular book called the Constitution, and to do that contract for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
We're afraid of the government. And I'm not necessarily referring to this one. We're afraid of government, period. It only has gotten worse. We are afraid of the people we elect to work for us.
Because they can use the power that we have given to them against us.
But if we are the power, we are the people, we are the power, and we never give up that power, you know. We never give up the people's power to the government, you know. What we do is tell the government, you have a job now. And here's the manual, the Constitution, etc., etc. That is why real countries have things like what is it? Susie suggested after a certain time.
The review, constitutional review, and you can
recall. Here, we don't even dissent. We are afraid to dissent. We're afraid. We hire people on a contract for 5 years to do a job according to a particular thing called the Constitution. Every other day, something is, even the matter of not being able to bring the murder rate at a reasonable level. That is breaking the contract, no?
Yes, it is.
Not supplying water for years. In some countries, the residents of those places will sue the government. And the government can't turn around and tell you, well, the guy was there before, did that. You were put there to fix what the guy did. We're getting more and more ignorant. You know, I keep on hoping that I'll get a few more, a longer time than I'm due, and that in that time I will see so and so happen. And then I remember people like Derek Walcott and his brother and George Odlum and so many people going back people with dreams, the possibility, the potential of this country. None of them have come, Tim. And all those people who are listening here right now who want me to start talking about the stupid politicians. The politicians individually, except in one or two cases, are dumber than most people, regular people in the country. They are stupid people, a lot of them unemployable. But they drank a lot of rum, or they ran a lot of women, or somebody thought they were viable and would pay for them to run. That is what we have in the country. We created this dystopia, and we refuse to acknowledge that. And if you don't acknowledge that we are the disease of this country, we're never going to get cured. But listen to this. It doesn't stay there. It rots and rots and rots. We ask all kinds of questions on NewsSpin. NewsSpin is not designed for debate, obviously. There are no debating groups in the country. There are no panel discussions, even sponsored by the government for the benefit of young people. None of that is going on. Those things used to go on at one time, Tim.
Yeah.
There was art at one time in this country. Today you have something called the youth economy. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I still don't understand exactly what the youth economy has done, is doing, or now or for the future. You know, I really don't understand it, because it almost looks to me, and I may be wrong, and if I am wrong, it's because there's not enough publicity going on to correct me and others like me. That thing is just, seems to me, an encouragement, a few grades over the arcade, you know. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, that is your assessment, Rick. And time is very much against us, so we don't have time to really, ventilate on this particular issue. Explain. That certainly will take an entire show, Rick.
It's that long, eh? It's that long, eh? It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It should just be saying, oh, no, Rick, it's a great program, and it's so and so and so, and we're going to get doctors out of it, and we're going to get this out of it, and we're going to get that out of it, which I wish it is. I hope it is. You remember a little while ago we had the Vision Commission?
Yes. That was under Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony.
Yeah, the Vision Commission.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to that Vision Commission, Tim?
Absolutely nothing. I don't think we have any evidence that it was looked.
I'll tell you what, I had a show once, and I had two members of the Vision Commission. They were celebrating, marking a year. And when I asked them what it exactly entailed, it amounted to one or two of them going to Miku, getting 4 or 5 fishermen and a couple planters together, and asking them how they see St. Lucia in the next 5 years. And taxpayers' money was going into this bullshit, you know, Tim. And there is no report. We don't know what that achieved, how much money was spent on it, but we had a Vision Commission. We have all kinds of commissions that no reports. No reports. We're still waiting for CIT report, aren't we?
We're waiting?
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Well, this has been another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. It's already 16 minutes after 2 o'clock. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for contributing via your calls and your WhatsApp messages. And, of course, thank you so much, Amanda, for going through the comments in the chat room. Join us tomorrow afternoon, God willing, 12:30 for another program. Goodbye.